Alright, hey everybody, it's Mackenzie from Mackenzie Lemoyne Designs. So today's video we're basically going to be doing an update on how I make my clay pins. And I didn't want to make another video about how I make clay pins because I already did that. But I basically wanted to film an update, and I wanted to make something that's similar to pins, but it's also not pins. It's basically, we're going to be making clay earrings. Yeah, so that's what we're going to do today. So I hope you guys enjoy the video.
Who's a big cutie? Who's my big cutie?
So these are some of the pins that I've made and I've sold at conventions before. And that's, okay, they don't want to see my hand. They want to see this. Let's focus. Focus. So yeah. So these are the pins that you know what? I'm an amateur. Fucking deal with it. In my last video, I basically struggled for so long on the painting the whole pin, and then trying to paint something else over the, and it just kept smudging. It's because I was using gouache, and I'm a huge fan of gouache because it's so flat and I love it, and there's no streaky, there's no texture, there's no nothing. It's just paint, it's just flat solid color, and I just kept getting stuck because anytime that I would even layer up, like if I would paint a layer of gouache and then I would put like a Posca pen paint over it, it would smudge. I would then try to like paint on the varnish, gloss, glaze, resin, whatever you call it. And then it would just rehydrate the gouache and it would smudge again. So I was just like, flips table. Essentially, what I came to discover is that you can use gouache on these pins. You can basically, as long as you do this trick of using the spray paint varnish on the pins. And let me just go ahead and get the one I used last time. So, oh god. So the one that I used in the last video was Aleene's Original Acrylic Sealer Gloss Finish. Fast drying, non-yellowing, seals and protects for indoor and outdoor projects. And on the can it has a bunch of little pictures of like charms and etc. However, I sell these pins, and let me just open up this bag. So that means that I put them into plastic cellophane bags, which as soon as these run out, I'm not using them anymore. They were completely dry, right? As soon as I put them into the cellophane bags, and that's how they get stored, they started to get a little tacky. Pun intended? Pun intended. But anyway, you can see, this has literally been sitting in the cellophane bags for I don't know how long, and it's literally sticking to my finger. That's how tacky it is now. So I was like, okay, long term this is not going to work. Like, nobody wants a tacky pin. The conclusion that I came to was, because I knew I was going to still need like the spray paint varnish sealer, at least to be able to put down a layer that was going to, I can basically seal that under a layer of resin. And I did, I forget the name of it. Let's look. It's Miraclekoo, and I'll put the link for this in the description. Miraclekoo, oh my god, I can't even say it. Miraclekoo UV resin, UV curing epoxy resin, hard, yeah. Well, anyways, I got that. Yeah. Alright, so let's get into what this video is actually about. Alrighty, so let's talk about the stuff that I'm going to be using. Obviously, first and foremost is our oven baked clay, polymer clay, Sculpey, yay. The next is the UV light that I have. You do not need to have one that is this industrial. This is literally, I tried to return it the time frame for me to return it came and went, so I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna be using this gouache. I also have other brands of gouache that I might use, but I'm using gouache, okay? And to be quite honest, I really like Winsor and Newton gouache, so Posca Pens. I really like these. They have ones that are smaller tips. They kind of look like they are fine liner for paints stuff. Why is this one like baby size even compared to these? Interesting. You want to get a brush that you don't care about, and that's basically because you're going to be using this brush to dip it into the resin. Alright, and that's just for the UV resin. You can use whatever paint brushes you want for your actual painting process. So this is what I'm going to be using to cut out and shape. I'm going to be using a Copic marker, literally one of the many that I have over here, just to be able to roll out the clay. I have my Prismacolor Colorase colored pencils. I have like a trillion in the scarlet red color, and then my sketchbook / notebook pad and paint palettes. This is actually not a paint palette, but I'm going to use this for the UV resin. So I have some fishhook earring toppers. I don't know if you guys can see. I dropped it. I'm going to be so good at this. And then I have the jump rings. I think these are 5 millimeters. 5 or 7. I think they're 7 actually. I just got some basic rubber backings. So, and they're clear. So you probably, I don't know if you can see them, but yeah, that's what we got. Small like little eye screws that I can screw into the jewelry. I just have these two things laying around, and these two things basically come into play specifically just for the jump rings. Now yes, they have like little knives and stuff in them, and you can use those to shape your Sculpey too if you don't have an Exacto knife, but basically the reason I'm going to be using these two is specifically just so I can grab the jump ring and twist it open and close. If your circle is like this, don't try to open it up like that. You want to open it up so you're twisting it open like that. Let's start sketching out some of our ideas.
I wish I was above the center of attention, but I'm not. I wish I didn't have to give in to the pressure. I'm posting pictures, trying to be someone I'm not. It feels just like I'm lying to you. I fake it, stage it, trying to live some perfect life. I know I'm wasting time, 'cause I just wanna call my friends and see what they're doing tonight. It doesn't have to be so special. I try to be myself, you do the same and we'll be alright. 'Cause this pressure's really bringing me down. I wish I had the guts to start a conversation with someone. Just be who I am, not care so much about first impressions. So, 'cause I got a feeling that it could be great. Skip all the acts, not playing games. Maybe reveal it, they ring me and tell you my name. Yeah, I got a feeling that it could be great. Skip all the acts, stop playing games. No more concealing, they ring me, I won't be ashamed. 'Cause I just wanna call my friends and see what they're doing tonight. It doesn't have to be so special. I try to be myself, attention, but I'm not. I wish I didn't have to give in to the pressure. Cause I just wanna call my friends and see what they're doing tonight. It doesn't have to be so special. I try to be myself, do the same and we'll be alright. Cause this pressure's really bringing me down. You said it yourself, this will not work if we are miles apart. Wake up alone, your fans are closed. Reach for something that you're not. Oh, you need to calm down, honey. You need to calm down. You need to calm down, honey. You need to calm down, 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 down. I know how you feel up in there. You'll get there, I know you would. I know that you don't like your hair, but I think it's beautiful. We just need to calm down, honey. We need to calm down, honey. We need to calm down, honey. We need to calm down, down, down. We just need to calm down, honey. We need to calm down, honey. We need to calm down, honey. We need to calm down. An ocean, a cave, a dream that no one could save, a shelter, a whole act, a light that died with the night. You and I, we got our differences. Yet I thought narrow maze. We speak, but oh, nothing. We run our separate ways. Do you ever think about me? Or are you busy with someone else? You and I, we got...
I'm gonna smooth out the I'm gonna smooth out the edges with the sandpaper. And I made sure just to get some very fine sandpaper. What I did was, just before I baked them, I just stuck these in there. I didn't have to screw it in or anything. I stuck them in there, and then there I kind of like squished the front and squished the sides just to like close up that hole and the wiggle room that was created whenever I put it in there. And you can see, like, this is not loose at all. Like, I'm pulling really hard. So unless somebody legitimately like tries to rip this out, it's not coming out. It's in there. It's, yeah, sandpaper's not essentially necessary. It's not that you're trying to sand it down to like a fine texture. It's basically just going to help you smooth out all of the rough edges, like especially on the teeth. There's only so much I can do, and it's better after you bake it, after it's like a hard, tangible piece that's not gonna get messed up whenever you touch it. It's just easier to be able to sand it down after it's been baked than to try and sculpt it and reshape it. This is much more strategic and will save you a lot of time. Okay. Boop. Alright, rinsed them off. Washed my hands off. Phew. Now I am just getting all the extra water off so they don't have to take too long to dry fully before we get to work on painting them. So my camera is about to die, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to paint the rest of these. I'm going to continue painting the rest of these while my camera charges. And then we will come back and I will film the resin, or I'll film the process of me spraying with the UV archival varnish spray by Krylon, and then the resin sealing and UV light thinging stuff. Yeah, we use technical terms on this channel. All right, I'll be right back. So UV LED, 6 to 9 watts, is 30 to 90 seconds it'll take for it to cure. A UV lamp, 36 watts, is 2 to 4 minutes. Sunlight is So direct sunlight is 30 to 90 seconds, and sunlight on a cloudy day is 20 to 40 minutes. I will say, the Krylon, I sprayed the front of these yesterday and I let it dry overnight, and the stuff is still a little tacky for my liking. And I do seal both the front and back of my stuff. So the back is, I sealed that today, but today it did make them glossy, but this is why I feel like adding a UV resin on top is necessary, because it's not, once you put it under UV light, it is not going to be tacky.
I let you do the first mistake. I follow every move you make, but I'm not sure if what I do is wrong. You're someone that I need to see, or fade into a memory. It's an obsession that is much too strong. I know that I said I have never been wrong, but we stopped talking long ago. I know that I'm lost, but I'm not moving on. Something between us still feels strong. I want you to know that with you I feel whole. And if this could last forever, I wouldn't have any other way. I want you to know that with you I'm never cold. Can we spend this life together? Any other way.
So we just finished adding the hardware on to the earrings, and I'll try to hold it up, both of them, so you can see. But look at how, hey Beckett, my dog is barking, whatever. Anyways, so look how cute they came out. And then these, how turn around. How cute is this? How cute are these? These might be my favorite. As I say that about every pair. And then the creme de la creme. Save the best for last. These are actually my favorite. How adorable. How freaking cute are these? How cute are these? Okay. Hey, it's me. For my camera died and I forgot to film my outro, so that's what I'm doing now. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, like it. If you have any questions about anything, feel free to put those in the comment section below and I'll answer them as best I can. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram. I'll put my handle up. And also don't forget that I'm on Patreon, and it is a huge help to support me on Patreon every month on a monthly basis if you enjoy me and my content and stuff. So yeah, I hope you guys are okay.